I'm back with the TM-9 that I had put out a video with some bad news on it. Now I finally, after probably 20 emails, got a response from the manufacturer. They're not dangerous to shoot, they're just not very good, to be honest with you. I'm starting with 240 grit, and anywhere that the rails contact, you can feel it's rough. So we're going to clean that up. And reason for the popsicle sticks, so you can really get in there. Another thing I am going to do is, once I've got things cleaned up, I'm going to take a little bit of lapping compound. That's for like grinding your valves. It's actually handy for a lot of things, for setting two pieces of metal together. When you first get a lathe, a lot of the time you'll have to lap it, and that's making the parts fit perfectly. It's an abrasive compound. You can buy it at pretty much any auto parts store. But once I clean it up, I'll lap it, and we're going to move it back and forth until it's nice and clean. Moves very smoothly. I'm even going to use some of the 1500 and 2500 grit on any of the plastic pieces. This isn't going to be for function because it's all just the rails that clip in and that. This is going to be just for aesthetics. Little casting marks there, get those out. I'm not going to do anywhere on the outside, just because it'll look fairly bad if I do that, I believe. Yeah, so we're going to get to it. I'm starting with some 240 grit, just where it's really rough. I'll get cleaning this up. I'm going to speed through this because this is not that interesting to watch some sanding. But I will take this to the range afterwards and do the break-in procedure that was recommended, which was pretty much just go and shoot it. One thing I do want to point out is, anywhere that we sand, I'm going to use some cold blue on, just to protect it. And you want to keep that area really well oiled. The cold blue isn't the best for rust protection. I mean, it does what it says it does, but you want to apply it very carefully, just because you don't want any rust getting in your rails there. Back to the joys of sanding. I'm not sure if you can see all the lines in there. Now, I'm going to be getting these nice and smooth and polished up. So I'm going to try a little 150, just because it's pretty badly scored there. This is not from wear, this is from factory, it looks. Now you could get out a little needle file and do this. It's really not a lot of sanding, and I'd rather take my time than screw it up. Big difference between I'm probably going to cold blue a few of these parts as well. Anytime you take a finish off, you want to cover it back up. And this is going to be like finding dents on a car. You use your hand, not your eyes. Find the sharp parts, slowly work them down, and then use finer and finer paper. And again, you can see all your manufacturing marks here. You could even take your Dremel to this, polish it up to a high polish. But the less friction you get between these parts with proper oiling and some detailing of this, the better the gun is going to function. Also, not only is it easier to sand lengthwise like this, but you want to put any sanding marks in line with the direction it's going. Already noticeably smoother, and that's with no oil. A lot smoother. And with some lapping compound, I don't even think I'm going to try to sand these rails. I'm going to get my lapping compound and do it that way. So also I'm going to polish this all up as well. I'm going to keep sanding for now and grab the lapping compound. Well, it's getting kind of late, so maybe I'll just sand for tonight and I'll come back tomorrow with the lapping compound. You can see, as I'm sanding, you can see that dip, the dark line all the way down the center. So from when this was stamped, it gave basically two high spots all the way around. This one I've taken down a little bit more, but... So maybe maybe the fit and finish of this gun is terrible out of the box, but we'll see if this turns out to be a good gun. I think there'd be a lot of happy people with that. So valve grinding compound, it's lapping compound. It's an abrasive mixed with grease. So we'll be taking a little bit of this on a Q-tip and we get some worked into right into where the rails are going to go. You just want this where you're trying to wear the parts in together. So we've got our lapping compound more or less where we want it. And this is the one that I had cleaned up last night. This is the one I had cleaned up last night. And before I try to break them in together, no, so I want this slide on this rail. Just matching serial numbers, that's all. Hear the grinding sound? Normally, that is not a sound you want in your firearm. So let's get a little bit more here. anywhere she's going to contact. Now don't get me wrong, if you don't want to do it this way and you want to sand it, I mean, we'll see what the results are like. So for this, I almost look at it as a forced break-in. Oh yeah, you hear that? Made a nice mess here. Still feel it hanging up. There is still the lapping compound in there, so. But I'm going to do this a bit more and just place it flat down, because aside from disassembly, it's not going farther forward than that. And just work it back and forth. I can definitely feel it starting to seat. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, why should you have to do this to a gun? Shouldn't they be better right out of the box? And you're absolutely right. But A, it's a fairly cheap gun considering it seems to not be bad. It's the fit and finish. It's like buying a cheap car. The fit and finish isn't always good, but it might be a decent car. Well, I'm going to clean this up, see how it works, and I might come back for some more lapping compound here. Well, we'll see how this feels once cleaned up and oiled. Okay, just wanted to give a little update now that I've just cleaned it up a bit. Still needs to be well sprayed down, but it is, you can tell I still got some abrasive in there, so it's not going to slide beautifully. And we're tight right at that beginning part. So I feel it's catching back there, somewhere around here. Because I think it's right here. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this. There is some very noticeable wear from the lapping compound there. Let's see if well, I think this is about the best I'm going to do. So this was not here before. You see these score marks? That's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking to take down any high spots where it's rubbing. I think I've got some on the sides here as well. So I'm going to go dig out the needle file set, clean these up, and all this where it's been rubbed, I'm going to keep going, do a little more sanding, I believe. Even up here, very excessive wear, so this is good. This is good. You want to knock down any high spots. I mean, these are all very chewed up, which means they were very high before. And once I've got all this done, I shouldn't say chewed up, that's the wrong word for it. But you can see the marks on it from the lapping compound. It's doing exactly what I expect it to do. Once all this gets done so everything's smooth, then I'm going to take it out and go over it with finer and finer emery paper until it's at a nice shine. And then everywhere that I have, you know what, this whole thing is probably going to get cold blued just because of all the scratching that'll be done on it. So I still have some cleaning up, and I'm going to do some more lapping after I file these. So I got to go dig out my file set, and I'll be back in a bit.